Some things happened in the NBA this past week. The biggest one being the Celtics trying to trade for Kevin Durant and involving Jaylen Brown in the deal. Now, Drew, you've called Jaylen Brown the best Robin in the NBA. You're very high on Jaylen Brown.
Love Jaylen Brown.
Now, the question here is, did the Celtics make a mistake by offering Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant?
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, they did. I mean, you saw his tweet, so I mean, he's obviously not happy. And you know what's weird about this is that, like, if I'm Jaylen Brown, you know, I could arguably say I was playing just as good as you, if not better, especially like in the finals. I guard the better player. I have just as much on my plate, and you're throwing me in trade discussions.
Are you talking compared to Tatum or compared to KD?
No, Tatum.
I'm saying Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
I understand. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And like now I'm getting thrown in trade rumors, and I don't know. Like I think they're like 24 and 25. Like you just made it to the finals with them. It's really not. You just got Malcolm Brogdon. Like it's really not even needed per se. Like you have a great Robert Williams. Like you have a great core. I don't really see like the necessarily the need to like break that up.
You're right. There's no need for it. Here's where I'll counter that point. Jaylen Brown did play better than Tatum in the finals. He does guard the opposing best player. So I understand where Jaylen Brown might be thinking, the Celtics have on multiple occasions have said Jason Tatum is untouchable. They've said that.
Makes sense.
Jaylen Brown is somebody that now we're seeing is not untouchable. Granted, it's Kevin Durant. I can understand why he's upset about that. But at the same time, is there not a scenario where Jaylen Brown right now has 2 years left on his deal? Kevin Durant has 4 years left on his contract. After those 2 years are up, Jaylen Brown is saying, I'm tired of playing second fiddle to Jason Tatum. I want my own team. And then decides to leave Boston in 2 seasons, and now they lose Jaylen Brown when they could have gotten Kevin Durant by involving him in a deal like this. And on top of that, Jaylen Brown is an exceptional player, but he's not Kevin Durant. He's not Kevin Durant.
Like, we all know this. Every single person on this panel understands that Kevin Durant is leaps and bounds better than Jaylen Brown. You just have to understand that there's a certain team chemistry that goes along with trying to create a team for the future. Like he mentioned already, 25 and 24 years old, respectively, you have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Why would you try to break that up when you have years and years to come, when they've made the conference finals more than they've missed the playoffs, more than they've lost in the playoffs? Like, you have to understand that this team is still super raw, super young, and they have multiple years to still even enter their primes. Right? Like, what can you really say?
It's Kevin Durant.
It's Kevin Durant. That's the
Kevin
only
Durant.
statement
So,
to say.
that's
Correct.
what you say.
It's the only statement.
I don't think they made a mistake in looking at Kevin Durant. I think any team in the league should look at Kevin Durant. He's one of the best players in the world. But I also don't think it's a mistake to say, no, actually, we want to keep our young guys. We want to keep our core together, because Kevin Durant, as great as he is, has a bit of an injury history over the past couple seasons.
Very true.
And although he does have the 4-year deal, you might not get 4 years of Kevin Durant. You know, you can go into the playoffs, Kevin Durant could go down with an injury at any moment, or Kevin Durant could decline. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Kevin Durant looks invincible, but he's been hurt the last couple of seasons. So I think right now, with the core you have, like you said, you just picked up Brogdon, you got Jaylen Brown, you got Jason Tatum, you got Rob Will around the same age. I don't think it's necessarily a mistake to say, you know what, nah, we want to keep our guys. But I think you can always look at what makes our team better. You get Kevin Durant, yes, it makes your team better. Offensively, you get better.
But you're not just losing Jaylen Brown. You're probably losing Marcus Smart. You're probably losing Rob Will.
No.
You're losing 3 first-round picks.
The offer was Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and picks. And the Nets countered and said, we want Marcus Smart in the deal. We want JB, Smart, and another rotational player with picks for KD. Pritchard?
That's a great bench piece for the Celtics.
Oh, God, no.
He is.
I mean,
I don't know. It's just not necessary. It's really just not like he just made the finals. Like it's not like they're like it's not like they need something to get over the hump. Like I just give them another year of experience and they would have been fine. But now, I mean, now you've caused some problems. I think the best point that you said was the contract situation. You know, there could be a real situation in 2 years with Jaylen Brown says, I don't want to be here anymore. So
what do you
I mean,
guys
it
think
does get
is
tricky.
what do you guys think is Jaylen Brown's like ceiling as a player? Because I think
He's right here.
although
He's getting there.
He hasn't even learned how to dribble the ball at a high level.
Some people just don't learn that.
It's the only thing he has to work on.
although Jaylen Brown,
He's a
Jaylen Brown
poor
can dribble.
playmaker.
No, he can dribble.
Jaylen
but
Brown can dribble.
He can dribble.
I'm so glad. I need people to know this. Jaylen Brown can dribble. Just because he's lost the ball a couple times, like Jaylen Brown will go one-on-one with anybody.
King, it's more than a couple of times.
I'm a tween cross.
He's got some nice ball handle.
Jaylen Brown. Just don't let a couple times that he's lost the ball like try and fool you. Jaylen Brown can dribble.
It just seemed like in big moments he tried to do a little bit too much and he would lose the ball. He just needs better ball security. Maybe that's what I'm looking for then. His ball security needs to improve.
Mostly it's just his playmaking. He's not a playmaker.
He's a horrible playmaker.
Horrible is strong. He definitely he showed to be
he
a better.
averages a turnover for every assist.
He puts his head down every time he goes to the basket.
I mean, a lot of people do that.
He doesn't look up. You don't expect to pass
He
out.
playmaked more than people let on in the regular season in the playoffs.
What was that? He was a poor playmaker in the regular season. He turned into
elevated.
a maybe okay playmaker.
You take it.
But I think even Kevin Durant on the back end of his contract after like in the third, fourth year is still better than Jaylen Brown at his very best.
It takes getting. I mean,
I don't think that's a hot take.
It's Kevin Durant. I
No, it's
understand
just
what you're saying.
that sounds crazy, but it's like maybe true.
But is it worth losing probably the leader of the team in Marcus Smart, your second best player in Jaylen Brown, and 3-4 first-round picks for a guy who you can't even bank on being there for 65 games of the season?
Smart is valuable
For sure.
but
It's another IT situation
It's
to a
Kevin
degree.
Durant.
No. I actually disagree. I would want to keep Smart in that deal. Like
I would rather
move off
keep
Smart.
Rob Will than Smart. Me personally.
There's certain things that there's certain players I would say they got to hold on to Robert Williams.
You gotta hold on to Rob Will.
For
That's
sure.
the one guy.
There's certain players that the Celtics can't lose.
And
Depending on that deal, you can't lose them both. You
Mhm.
can't. Maybe you could get rid because you just got Malcolm Brogdon, so maybe you could get rid of Marcus Smart. But
So do you think the Celtics should hold on to Rob Will over Marcus Smart?
yeah, Robert Williams is special. Robert Williams got like 9 blocks last postseason guarding Kevin Durant in like 20 minutes. Like Robert Williams is special. Like,
And he was doing that at like
amazing rim protector,
70%.
switch 1 through 5.
Yeah,
lob,
I think that's obvious. You keep Rob over Smart.
Smart did just win Defensive Player of the Year.
He did.
He's the leader of the Celtics.
He is. Rob Will is an
but you
elite
got
rim protector.
He is, no doubt.
Like he's an
you got
elite
Malcolm
rim protector.
Brogdon who could I'm not gonna say he's gonna fill his role, but
I would say
it's not you can't replace Robert Williams. Like you can't.
with what they have, like you can't replace Smart either. Like the stuff he does outside of the numbers, but you can kind of fill that void of a defensive presence. You have Jaylen Brown, you have Tatum, or like you have Brogdon.
I get what you mean.
But you can't replace Rob. They don't have anything to replace Rob Will, and the Nets also don't have anything that would replace Rob Will. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's irreplaceable for them right now. And in the East, when you play Embiid, you play Bam, you play Giannis, you need Rob Will to get past all these teams.
I agree with you.
I know the Celtics just made the finals and they did make good additions in Gallinari and Brogdon. But do you think that fully healthy they can beat Milwaukee if Milwaukee's fully healthy with Chris Middleton now?
Yes.
I think they can beat them for sure. Another year
Would
of
you favor
experience.
them?
I would. Right now, yes.
You would favor Boston over Milwaukee.
Everybody
They're
healthy?
they're the better team.
Everybody healthy? Right now, yes.
What about
They're the
Philadelphia?
Yes. I would favor
I would take them
Boston.
over Philly.
They're the best team. Like they don't. What's their weakness? They don't really have. Like they really need like just a point guard or a guy who could like slow them down or. But they got that Malcolm Brogdon. Like they're elite defensively. They're a really good shooting team. They have role players who know how to play the role. They got like literally like 3-4 guys who are switchable defenders. I'm not even mad. I'm not mad they made a call for Kevin Durant because like it is Kevin Durant. Probably the worst thing is that it got leaked.
Yeah.
whoever allowed that to get out is probably.
Now let me ask you. I know.
I see how you tried to sneak Philly in there.
Yeah,
I really
know,
did see
I
that.
know.
Do you know
He
James Harden's
thinks that
coming back
Philly's going to.
I don't know
He
nothing.
thinks Philly's
James
going to the
Harden's
championship.
is going to go back to the player he was.
Listen,
I hear
our
you.
boy Joel would be upset if I didn't mention this. Do you believe that the Nets just put this out there to try and have better offers for Kevin Durant? Do you believe that this was a real offer, or do you believe that this was just something that the Nets wanted to
No,
leak?
this was a real offer.
You believe that?
My thing
No,
is, what better
100%.
offer was going to come out? Like, what other team that's looking at Kevin Durant right now can possibly give a better offer than Jaylen Brown?
The Pelicans, Brandon Ingram, and other pieces. That's
Raptors.
it.
Also, exactly.
Raptors
I was
too.
just going to mention them. Scotty Barnes hasn't been
Well,
mentioned.
the
in
Raptors
talks,
have
but
already stated the Nets have said if Scotty's not in the deal, we don't want to talk. And the Raptors have made that
Raptors
clear.
can make a package without Scotty.
You
Yeah,
think so?
with Siakam. Hmm.
You think they give up?
They can make a
that,
package.
you think they give up Siakam for KD?
Why not?
I would do that in 2
Yeah,
seconds.
Siakam and a couple pieces.
Siakam and a bunch of players. That means the team is ass.
Yeah.
Siakam and OG,
Defeat the team is ass.
not true. It's not
ass, but it's not a true contender.
It ain't moving
you still
nobody.
have Van Vliet, you have Gary, you have KD, you have
It's not
Scotty
moving
Barnes,
Anybody.
Precious.
in the East.
You just said it's
it.
Kevin Durant. What
It
you
is.
mean? It's
Exactly.
No,
I
but
just said it's Kevin Durant.
But that team ain't move. That team moving, y'all.
Unless Scotty Barnes takes a unprecedented second year
I mean, he
lead,
was
in
great.
year two,
he was
won't-
great last
unless he
year.
takes-
then
like that.
I don't think
Scotty was great.
That's not a true contender in the East, though.
But Scotty
All right,
can
so
elevate.
So what?
You told me
so
he's going
what
to
are
be
the Raptors?
honest.
Wait, what'd you say? What are the Raptors right now?
Yeah, because you just said that team's not moving anybody. So if you get KD, they still not moving nobody.
I think the Raptors right now are a first round exit team.
I agree.
With Kevin Durant, if you swap out Siakam, and I'm guessing they're gonna add in another piece, maybe Siakam and OG or Siakam and Trent. I just don't think the Raptors have the proper depth. They were one of the worst teams in bench scoring last season.
I agree.
So they're just relying on their starters, and if KD gets hurt,
And they still don't have a big.
It's a huge risk.